India versus Norway Davis Cup 2022. High expectations from the Indian contingent, but in the end, India get thrashed emphatically by Norway. What exactly happened?
Well, I think first of all, the fact that we were having expectations was a little misplaced. We didn't have the firepower, honestly. Norway had the home advantage. It was not even played in India. And Norway has a sports model which is really fantastic, which we should actually highlight this. And they're not given enough credit for it because a lot of times when there are countries like from other countries in Europe or US, you expect those players to be good. But honestly, Norway has got a fantastic model, and there are no pushovers at all. So not surprising for me that we lost. If you look at the model, they see to it that all the children play sport for the fun of it. There's no competition, there's no awards, there's no rankings. There are academies who don't rank or give medals or awards to their young athletes, and if they do, it has to be done to the whole team. So there's no number one, number two, number three, etc., etc. These are very misleading things. I mean, look at we had a lot of junior champions. What about Yuki Bamri? What about the rest of them? Where are they? They don't come anywhere close to the top players in the world. But look at now Norway. You had Casper Ruud, French Open, US Open, Wimbledon, boys singles. He had reached the third round in 2015. 2016, he was the number one in the juniors. And he's come up through the ecosystem. So he's there where he is. He's no pushover. And we know that. And not even other players. Durosevic, for example, is ranked 290 plus. But Ramkumar didn't have a chance against him. Prajnesh tried his best, but in all honesty, I think Casper Ruud was too good for him on the day. So if we want to change this entire process of us going through this defeats all the time and then coming up with various solutions for that, we need to step back a bit and see what are we doing with our younger athletes, what goes on with them in the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up until they become teenagers and then professional athletes at some point. I don't know if we have that kind of a process which every athlete goes through, in the formative years, developmental stages, so that they build that capacity. By the time they are getting into the senior levels where they are playing with some of the top players in the world, they have the physical conditioning to really match up to them. And if you take tennis as an example, you'll see almost all of them have gone down to injuries. Prajnesh is the only one out there who's had a little bit of a different story. But then when we had a chat with Prajnesh, it was quite clear. He himself told as to what changed his entire career graph, to say, when he met Christian Bose and he brought him back from injury, which you couldn't get out for almost 5 years, right? Having tried everything. A lot of these players like Ramkumar and Prajnesh and even Jivan Nedunchandran, there are a lot of them who are training abroad for the last 10, 12, 14 years. But it's not enough. They still spend the early years here. And they have to go through a process where either they're given substandard coaching here. When I'm talking about coaching, I'm talking about the physical aspect of it, not the skill aspect. I don't really think we're too bad in the skill aspect because if you go back in the last 30 years, we had multiple players who were broken into the top 5, 10 in the world in the junior level. But none of them crack into the seniors, right? We're faltering primarily because we don't have a proper structured program for young athletes, for children, when they start playing sport.
What advice would you give a young athlete right now aspiring to become a world champion?
I would say don't have unrealistic expectations. Enjoy the sport that whatever you're playing. Find a good coach. I say a good coach, a coach who's not going to make you do anything fancy, but who just puts you through a very basic process of, a kind of a mentor who puts you through a process where you play the sport for the fun of it, and in that process he's helping you get better physically as well as tactically and technically. Look, not everybody is guaranteed to be a elite athlete, but then at least you should do it the right way. I think this would be my advice.
So if you're an aspiring sports person aiming to achieve your genetic potential, log into sportshala.com and subscribe to our athlete program, where you can work with experienced coaches like Ram to improve your fitness, strength, and overall performance.